Hey guys, today I am going to go through a bunch of my paper. I've purged a whole lot already, but I think that I still need to get rid of some more because there's a lot of it that I have not used in or even touched in more than a year for sure, but probably longer. So we're going to do that, and I hope you enjoy the video. So something I've been thinking about a lot lately is, of course, I'm doing this purge, and it's because I realize that I'm hanging on to more things than I actually will ever be able to use. And so another thing I'm thinking about a lot is my ADHD diagnosis, and how decluttering is actually relieving some of those symptoms. So this is the reason why I'm doing this purge, because I need my brain back is what it is. And if I have all of these different things, then everything is constantly competing for my attention in my house. So the more I have in my house, the more I need to take care of or, manage, and the more my brain is getting taken away from the things that truly matter to me. And so this is just a little journey I'm taking in the craft room, but I'm also doing it all over my house. So if you are a person with ADHD and you have way too much stuff, maybe that might speak to you. And even if you don't have ADHD, it's really hard to be buried under a lot of things. And I'm fairly sure that a lot of us keep things for, different reasons, but without really realizing how they're affecting our lives, on a daily basis. So as you're watching me go through all of these things, I'm actually keeping less than 50% of most things. So when I make the little stacks, I might keep maybe 4 or 5 of those of each color and then give away the rest. So at the end of the video, you're going to see how I did. And I won't spoil that for you now. But anyways, I tried to keep only what I felt was going to be light enough for me to carry on a daily basis. Not that I'm going to use everything on a daily basis, but that I can look at it and not feel that guilt or shame about having spent so much money on something or, not using it. I'm starting to look at space in a different way where, that's precious space in my house that can be used for something that I really do intend to use. So, but full disclosure on all of this, there are a lot of things that I kept, for comfort reasons. So, don't think that, I'm over here, telling you got to go from a huge hoard of stuff to a minimalist lifestyle. That's not realistic at all. But, just taking let's just talk about our stash, just taking one bit of stash, like paper, and just purging that is going to help you to feel a little bit less overwhelmed and much lighter. And so in the 3 videos that I've made, I did ribbon, I did paper, and I did, I can't remember, the metal ephemera. And that was a lot of what I had because, when I buy things, I usually will buy it in bulk because it's cheaper. But yeah, it doesn't really mean, it could be monetarily cheaper. but it's actually more expensive when it comes to my own peace of mind and stuff. So anyway, if that sounds, like something that resonates with you, you might want to think about doing a little bit of a purge. You don't have to do a 50% or anything like that. You can, start with like a 10 or 20% purge, if you save things for the reasons that I do. You may feel really reluctant to let go of some things. At this point, I'm super ready to let go of some things, because I actually have been going through a lot of purging in the past year and a half. I've been purging my parents' house, little by little. Some of it, a lot of it, I brought home, and a lot of it, we took for donations. And I'm looking at my house now going, I really don't think I can fit anything more in here. And I don't really want to bring anything else home. But, the stuff I do have, I brought in a lot more than I've let go, I think. So I'm starting to look at, what I want to let go. And I figured you guys didn't want me to rifle through my underwear drawer and tell you what I'm keeping or not keeping. But, paper and metal ephemera or any kind of ephemera, and ribbons, and just those things that we tend to accumulate a lot of. Maybe you haven't accumulated a lot of metal ephemera, but you have probably accumulated a ton of ephemera that you might never use. So but again, like I said before, if you want to attempt this, do what feels good. Don't do what I did. Don't, use the same rules that I am. I picked rules that were comfortable for me. And 50% is actually a decent number for me because I have a lot of stuff. Another thing I'm thinking about quite a bit is order. I've been a stuffer all my life, which just means that, when I have something that I want to keep or that I think I want to keep, or at least don't want to throw away or figure out what to do with, I'll just stuff it in a cupboard or a drawer or something like that. And that is a big part of my issues here. So I'm trying not to do that kind of stuff, and I'm trying to be my own voice in my head that says, are you really going to use that? Can somebody else use it? Is it really trash? Would anybody else even want this? And stuff like that. Most of the reason I've accumulated all this stuff is because I haven't wanted to experience the decision fatigue of having to figure out what to do with every single item. I said before that some things I'm just going to keep. Sometimes I keep things because they were really expensive, or I really liked them, but I lost them, like my gel print stuff. There are a lot of different reasons why I keep things, and maybe they're excuses. I don't really know, So looking at asking myself very direct questions gives me the opportunity to actually think about what I'm going to do with these things. Real quick note, the baby is my grandma, and the woman is my great-grandma. So I was able to find that gem in there, right? Lots of things that I have, they're just in piles, and I can't find, all of the stuff that I really like, that is really my cup of tea, you know what I mean? And something that I would use in a junk journal. So, yeah, it's not easy, to make a decision on every single thing like I am, but at least having less gives you the opportunity to actually do so. In this pile that I'm sorting are all my gel prints and my master boards and stuff. Those are things that I love so much, and want to use in my creations and everything, but then it's like full of stuff like this that are just like misprints and stuff like that I don't know, for some reason I think I'm going to use them, and anyways, so I'm keeping stuff like the little packs of vellum, the interesting papers that I have, and just the art tablets and stuff, but getting rid of some of the paper in the other tablets. And that's just a set of French dictionary pages that I got from Belinda Basson. And I think she gives that away free on her website. Okay, so now we're going to look at what our piles look like. So this, I think this time it was like a 5-inch pile, right? And so I'm going to measure both. And you can see how I'm doing so far. And you can see like all the colors. I'm giving away way more than I kept, for sure. And so measuring that, I think that ended up being about a 5-inch pile too. But remember that in my pile, I had like 3 packs of koala paper, 32-pound koala paper. And so the great thing about that is that they're double-sided. I can print on both sides, and anything that I print on them is really vibrant. So even if I do need a little bit more, say, red paper, I could just pull from there and print it. And the amount of ink that is used to do that is far less stressful than storing like, an inch worth of red paper. So all of these that I'm going through are my special paper, transparencies, vellum, copy paper, sticker paper, all those different things. And I have a lot of stuff like that. And, that's the stuff that I just get like, I don't want to get rid of that. But the truth is that I don't use it, and maybe somebody at the thrift store will be able to go through this stuff and, look at it and go, oh my gosh, this is what I was looking for. This stuff's so expensive in the store, blah, 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 and then they'll get blessed by that. So I'm grateful that I could do that. And, most of my stuff is in new condition, save for a couple of the pads or whatever, it's all good, I could have sold it. Some of you might be wondering why I'm not selling this stuff. It's because, that is just prolonging the amount of time that I have to handle these things, and that the amount of space that I have, because I wouldn't really be getting them out of my space, would I? And then I would be giving myself another job of, listening and selling and talking to customers and all those different things that I'm trying to get away from right now. So anyhow, I am just trying to figure out what pages I want where, and, just trying to leave myself a little bit of space in the boxes and in the shelves and stuff. Because while I am slowing myself way down on purchasing this kind of stuff, I am also wanting to at least see a little bit of space so everything doesn't look like stuffed all over the place. It just does something for my psyche, I guess you could say. And I think all in all, this is going to make a junk journal making much more fun, because everything I'm keeping are things that I love. And so I'll be using only things that I love. So some things you're seeing are all still in packages. Some of them, like these big, legal pages, cardstock, I'm kind of feeling sentimental about for whatever reason, so I'm keeping a lot of it. I did give away a lot of the a lot of the white, but I kept all of the cream color. And the reason for that is because it's a lot easier to make cream color look vintage versus making white look vintage. So I'm usually changing the color of white. So anyhow, this is going to make it a lot easier for me to find my actual art tablets. And I like to do, like you may have seen a few seconds ago, my artwork. You know, I like to draw and I like to create and things like that. And I like to just kind of have a sketchbook where I sketch all kinds of different things. So I do ask myself, have I used this in the past year? And a lot of things I just haven't, you know. But the reason for those, you know, I think, is because they've just been lost in this whole sea of paper, you know. So I am attempting to arrange things in a way that I will be able to find these again and that I'll be able to remember that I have them. So I'm throwing away all the little ripped pieces of paper, etc. These are more artwork of mine that I can use inside, you know, to create ephemera and stuff like that. Some of it's my dollhouse stuff, and some of it's, you know, some of my other favorite things that I have drawn. So, you know, I like to go back and look at that stuff. All right, so it looks like my pile's about 12 inches tall. And I think without all of the koala paper, it's probably about 9 inches. But I'm trying to be fair in what I'm putting into the pile and stuff, because I don't want to make it sound like I did, 80% of my stuff when I really didn't. I still have, paper, the paper category taking up a little bit more room than what I'm giving away. So I am going to pull over my pile in a second and show you what those two piles actually look like. And here you go. I feel like I did pretty well.